Hello friends, this is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I've wanted to make this video for probably a few weeks now as I've seen more and more grand arenas be played, as I've seen the frustration for people, and as I've looked at my own, opponents and who I'm going up against. One of the things that excites me for the future of the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes game, for, Grand Arena and other future events is this specific post that talks about improvements to Grand Arena matchmaking. Now, I won't say that this is going to be the end-all, be-all fix to all things that are problematic that's problematic with Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, but I think this is a step in the right direction, and I think it's a step in the right direction that's been a long time coming. Now, for those of you who don't know necessarily or haven't really been paying attention, you've probably seen yourself being pitted against teams or squads that are either really close to yours or have amazing kits but not very deep rosters. So what they've said here in this post, and this is a few days old, so probably most of you have read this and made up your own opinion about it, but it says, we spent a lot of time looking at this, and specifically Grand Arena and the matchmaking power, and what they're seeing is there's a lot of close matches, and that there have been very few blowouts, but it's also led to a big disconnect in some players' expectations, is that they've heard that a lot of people feel penalized for going broad, for building out a wide, diverse collection of characters and ships, and reducing the incentives to explore, building up new characters, building up new squads, new mod sets, and new priorities. So this is not something that they want to proliferate, and starting in the next update, they're going to address it. So what does that mean? It means, look, we don't want to penalize people for playing the game, which they shouldn't penalize people for playing the game. And again, it comes down to the idea of chasing the meta, right? We're so focused on the newest character that we're not spending enough time developing some of the older characters. Now, again, those older characters might become useful in future updates. They might become useful in future things. If you're like me, and I don't know how many collectors are out there, but what I've done in the past is I've gone through and I've leveled up all of my characters to gear level, or to level 85. I've gotten them to like a base gear ranking of like 7. That's where I feel like is kind of the sweet spot where things start to get more difficult. And then, as far as mods, I'll leave mods off them depending on, how I feel in any given day, really. And part of the reason why I do that is, one, I'm a collector. Right? I like to collect. I enjoy collecting. I like to have that personal satisfaction of saying, yep, they're all level 85. Yep, they're all gear level 7. Yep, I've got the mods that I need to. Part of it is because I don't know what the future of the game holds. Sometimes these characters aren't useful right off the bat. I mean, let's face it, guys, Bodhi Rook has never been viable in anything. I've never really seen Bodhi Rook be useful for anything. He probably has one of the worst Zetas in the game. But Bodhi Rook is going to eventually get a rework. And with a rework, he might become viable for a phase of a specific raid. He might be viable in certain areas of Galactic Attack Assault, or whatever future mode comes out next. We don't know. He might be viable in a number of different areas. And if he's not, someone else like him might be. Now, we've all joked around. We were all like, yeah, we're going to get Cup up to level 12, and we're going to put all the Zetas that we can on Cup. And when we see a Cup rework, he better have 3 Zetas, and he better be effing phenomenal. But what's funny about that is, if you look at the attention that the Galactic Republic is getting right now as a faction, that's not super far-fetched that Cup could be viable. Now, maybe not in Arena, but maybe in Grand Arena. Maybe he's going to be viable on the offense side or the light side of the Geonosian territory battle. We don't know. We have no idea. But he could be viable. If you look at clones, right? I don't have my clones nearly as high as they should be. But with the clones, we know that a territory battle is coming, a light side territory battle. Well, they're going to be viable. We know that they're going to be getting a rework, or we assume they're getting a rework. I'm sure they've said somewhere that it's going to happen, you know. And if you are someone who has spent zero time and zero effort leveling those characters up, then when they become viable, you're going to have to spend more and more time. Now, that's the reason why I do it. The idea here is there are other areas, there are other characters that we as players have invested in that all of a sudden become useless after whatever that event is. I mean, I could go through and I mean, the veterans, Chewie and Han, they're good, but are they good enough, right? And you don't want to spend so much of your time focused on getting up characters that aren't going to be viable, that can't take down other teams. Now, it was a long time ago, right? It was February. It was during the Sith Raid, right when they announced it. A few of us Game Changers went out to San Francisco. San Francisco. What's that one place called? Sacramento. Hometown and birthplace of Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's not true. He's not from there, but he ran the country of California for a time. And here's the thing. While we were out there, we had lunch and dinner. We were talking with the developers, and we were talking with different people like art designers and character developers and people who were passionate about this game. And they were all saying, you guys as a team, you guys as a collective, as a group of players, part of the reason why, you know, you're struggling in this area is because you haven't explored the right characters. Now, this change and what they're going to do is they're focusing on, you know, they haven't really come out and said how they're going to do it. They just said that we're backing off in the future of Grand Arenas, like especially with the whole Grand Arena Championships, from just straight Galactic Power. That's not how we're going to do it anymore. We're not focusing on just Galactic Power. We're bringing in other aspects, right? And which again makes sense. Now, you know, there's clearly a gear discrepancy, especially with some of the newer characters between gear level 8 and 12. I get that. The bottleneck exists in a couple of different areas, and it sucks. What I hope this does is allow players to explore and promote the exploration of combinations that otherwise wouldn't be useful. I don't know, guys. As a collector, I think this post was something that was really exciting for me to see, and really, you know, I'm excited that maybe one day Jedi Consular or Jedi Guardian are going to be viable or useful for something. You know, that Ugnaught is and Cup and all of these characters that don't play a role in any area of the game might find a use somewhere. And I would love, guys, I would hands down love to be able to send my entire roster after a Revan team. And maybe I have to go after Darth Revan 10 times, right? Maybe I have to fight him 10 times with 10 different combinations until I can whittle them down. But right now, I can't use those characters. I can't use crappier characters because I am discouraged from investing time and energy and gear and stuff into those characters when they might have a viability against certain tunes, maybe not outright, but maybe enough, right? You send enough level 1 anything at level 99 something, those level 1 anythings are going to eventually destroy the level 99 something. I don't care how good you are, how powerful you are, how strong you are. If you're caught up in a zombie slow moving horde, and you're eventually going to run out of steam and die and become a zombie yourself. It just, I mean, that analogy just makes sense to me. And here we have these legions of characters that are kind of unuseful, that are kind of crappy. And hopefully this is working towards adjusting that, or at least broadening that idea. So I don't know. This is a very ranty kind of post, but let me know what you guys think. Do you think they're on the right path? Personally, as a collector, I absolutely do, and I'm very excited about this. And I'm excited to see what this whole new Grand Arena Championship looks like, what the structure looks like, and how it'll play out. Very excited for that. Let me know in the comment section below. Join me on Discord and let's talk about this, because I love the idea of this change. And I love the idea of these tunes, these characters becoming useful in areas that they just haven't been. Follow me on Discord. You can join my Patreon. You can reach out to me on Discord. You can follow me on Instagram or Twitter at RealGoingNerdy. Support the channel. Donate. Anything helps, guys. Help a nerd out. I love doing this. And this has been one of the things that has helped me keep my sanity for the last 10 months. And I am very grateful for all those who comment, who chat, who join. Thank you. And let me know if you guys are interested in roster reviews, if you guys are interested in anything like that. You can find that stuff, and you can find out how to get that type of stuff just by reaching out to me. Let me know what you guys think. This has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. And as always, my friends, smile and stay nerdy.